Hello everyone, it is I, CEC Stages, but you can call me David. I am making this video because I realize you all deserve better. The other day I was just logging into my CEC Stages account and realized how terrible it was of me to come back in such a promising way, only to vanish afterwards without a trace. I didn't die or anything, I just disappeared, and I simply can't forgive myself for doing this to such a great fan base. Not once, but a few other times too, and I'm here to set things straight and give you a proper explanation, the one that you deserve, as well as what my future may hold for this community. It all started in April 2015 when Five Nights at Freddy's was booming and I encountered a creepypasta video titled The Truth Behind Chuck E. Cheese by a channel named Mr. Nightmare. At first, young me became terrified thinking it was true, but slowly realized there was nothing to worry about, loosening up to these characters, and encountered a user by the name of Big Cheese, of course, who we all know at the time was one of the go-to places for Chuck E. Cheese content. I visited my local Studio C beta and recorded it, of course, though I did a terrible job in an attempt to replicate Big Cheese's extreme close-ups. As my interest kept growing, I knew I had to create these characters for myself, as I had done similar things in the past since I've always been a creative person. After all, my local location was just a Studio C beta with a single Chucky, so that just added to the desire to have these characters. So in June of 2015, I created my first character, my favorite, Jasper. It was not an animatronic, but rather a dummy. Soon I found a user who is now deleted that used remote control cars to make the mouth moves, and soon I made the other characters throughout that summer on top of puppets of every character but Pasquale. Sounds familiar? I went to my local and the Canton 2-stage location and filmed some videos there as well. I didn't even know the Canton location had a 2-stage. I just went to a random location hoping they'd have all the characters, and luckily enough, I looked in the window and they did. It was always a dream of mine to have a YouTube channel, so on September 19th, 2015, I created my very first, what we all know today as CEC Stages, though the E and C weren't even capital back then, which I later changed in early 2016. What the name even means, I have no clue. All I know is that it's Chuck E. Cheese on top of the fact that the characters sit on a stage. I posted like 5+ videos on my first day and I actually got 5 subscribers overnight, which I did not at all expect. I continued to post multiple videos a day, some of which are now deleted, but I still have, and got some comments, good and bad, but hey, that's to be expected with how some of my characters looked. Even the guy got the RC card method from found me. By September 27th, I somehow gained 100 subscribers, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. Over time, I updated my characters constantly because I was never satisfied. There were so many versions I can't even count. I don't even know where my brain was at the time. Was I trying to replicate the Cyberamics or 3-stage ones? Some I think I remember, but others I don't. Also, many people started using the RC card method made popular by me, so I was glad I was able to establish that method, though I obviously didn't create it. I created one of my weirdest but best videos, animatronic pizza cam, very simple munch tutorial in only 15 minutes, which also helps circulate people making their own pizza cams. You guys want more tutorials to come back? Just saying. I also found the rocket fire explosion during this time, and as a result made a Duke LaRue in December 2015. For Christmas, I also got a professional camera, which was a nice upgrade from the old tablet, though it eventually broke and had to be fixed. By this point I was at 500 subscribers, which wow, that was amazing, so thank you guys so much from the bottom of my 10-year-old heart. In early 2016, I was working on a complete overhaul of my stage, making them into the 3-stage characters, which I only got Helen, Jasper, and Pasquale done. Something cool a viewer suggested was to glue the front wheels of an RC car onto the back of Jasper's hand, so his hand could move back and forth and look like it was actually playing the guitar. So I did that, and it's a shame we never got to see it because I began getting lazy and slowly lost interest. I always used to say, oh, you know, I took down my stage for space, but no, I destroyed it. Yes, people, this is the CEC Stages story, you get the truth. In April 2016, I didn't quite destroy, but really, and I mean really, dismantled them. So my plan was not to come back, and by this point I was still gaining subscribers. I was around 800 or 900. Again, thank you so much for that. Come July of that year, I gained interest again, and as a result of that destroyed stage, planned to build a large Jasper and slowly remake the show over the course of like 5 years. A character a year. I don't even know why I thought this. It's not like they had any new movements, but my laziness and the fact that they were bigger went into this thought. I remained somewhat active by posting puppet videos in my local locations. Some of the puppets I actually did. In December 2016, I finished Jasper and he looked decent, but was only half-bodied, so I was quickly like, you know what, we have to go full body. And so in January 2017, towering at 7 feet, I finished him with the first song being Live It Up. While making him, I was deciding between the Pizza Time Theater 80s/90s mask with the wrinkles and just the regular one. I don't know why I redid it entirely, because the one I made before, if I just removed the wrinkles, would have looked so much better. That mask sadly didn't make it to the final 2 versions. My camera was broken at this time, but I got it back in time for Jasper. Just before that, I went to my first 3 stage in Southgate, Michigan, which was nice. The first song I saw and filmed on the 3 stage was Together We Got It, and I couldn't ask for a better first song on a 3 stage. I also made an Avenger walk around and was starting a new Duke Lagoon. My interest remained, but just wasn't my main focus. In the summer 2017, I visited Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum to see some of the Pizza Time Theater animatronics they had, so that was nice. But more importantly, that summer, I was rethinking my stage entirely now, so I went for a more reasonable approach to Jasper by downscaling him, because I realized the 7 feet size wouldn't work for all the characters. Funny thing is, the old head was now actually the speaker box he was sitting on, and I even made some buildings. It was nice. The mask was also nearly done. But in August 2017, a terrible thing happened to CEC Stages. The basement where I was building this stage had flooded, so just like how my store was constantly redone, my basement was redone, which took about a year. I had the idea of making a road stage in my room, but that really never went anywhere other than spray painting some cardboard boxes. I talked about this flood in my 2 years on YouTube videos, saying how I'll likely just do puppet videos in the time, but that never happened. I just completely lost interest. When my basement was done in mid to late 2018, I had the idea of taking this Jasper out of storage and resuming this downscale road stage, which in my mind had now become a 1 or 2 stage, but that also never happened. I even kind of predicted that outcome myself when thinking up the idea. Not until March 2020, when my interest came back yet again and I was serious about this plan. Not only building animatronics, but new puppets, and somehow I followed through. I did it. In June of 2020, I was done and posted a teaser to my return as well as the video itself, the 90s rendition of Together We've Got It from the Concept Unification tape. I thought, what better song to showcase Munch's make-believe band, kinda like how was the first song I saw on a 3 stage. The stage was everything I always wanted to be in terms of look. That word look is very important, but I tried to have strings on the ceiling to allow for some movements. I'm no creative genius, more movement is something I should have looked into but never did. Jasper and Pasquale turned out the best, the rest not bad. You can't really see it, but I had everything. I had the carpet, I had the shoes, they're all covered, but I had the buildings just like you would see on an actual stage. I need to make a video talking about this thing alone because it was my best work in terms of look. And to answer your question, no, it's not still up unfortunately, but I do have most of the pieces, but I just don't plan to put it back up because I unfortunately don't have the space. And this time it's not a lie. And as I said, I also created these puppets you briefly saw in the teaser. Everyone with Chuck is resembling the early Rockstar puppets because I consider those the Avenger era puppets. I mean, they look like it so much. I even made Pizza Cam and Munch Jr. with the idea that the puppet videos would be green screen. I also had some alternate guitars made for the Jasper puppet and possibly to switch out on the animatronic for fun occasionally. And what is CEC Stages without having a standalone Duke Lagoon, which yes, I also picked up from 2017, just kinda completely redid, though he didn't look the best at all. I've actually never shown this, but here it is if you're interested. And also, none of my creations are for sale. For those wondering, like I said, I don't plan to resemble my stage again because I don't have the space. So let's address the elephant in the room. Why did I leave yet again? The answer is simple: loss of interest. If I were in my old mindset, I would probably just come back trying to convince myself that this is the real comeback, only to leave again. But we all know that that's not worth it for me or anyone because it's not realistic knowing myself. All I can do is just take this time to thank each and every one of you for the love and support from that very first night of September 19, 2015, all the way to present day. I couldn't imagine making it this far. I couldn't imagine 100 or 1,000 subscribers, especially in the time we did it. I couldn't imagine all the videos people make mentioning me and their own creations I've inspired to build. I'm just so grateful for my time here, being able to collaborate and share ideas. There are many people I've met, great people who I've been able to share the interest with. You know who you are, so thank you. This was a small time in my life, but left possibly the greatest impact in all I learned. I will never forget all of you and everything you've done for me, and to be able to finish it with a stage and puppets I always wanted for one final video, how cool is that? But at the end of the day, it's not about that. It's about being able to collaborate and meet new people, like I said. So I've left my impact, I enjoyed the experience. I just have other interests I'd like to focus on, and there's a lot of people I know who feel the same way with CEC. But that doesn't mean I still don't enjoy the hobby. I just need to figure out a realistic approach. Things change, and think of all the things we had when I started, like Big Cheese, Google+, and all the great locations that have now closed. It's really, really weird to think how much can change in such little time. The good news is that I'll still be a part of the fandom in a way on Instagram. I'll try to post what I can, from the creation and images shown in this video to pictures I've taken at locations. I'll follow you guys and you can follow me if you like. You can message me if you like, because people already have, despite me having no posts, but I do enjoy interacting because that's what it's all about. The link to the Instagram will be in the description below. And say making a puppet video or eventually going to another location to film isn't completely out of the question. Something like a live stream isn't even out of the question. So one final thing I'd like to address is, what do I want for this fandom moving forward? I still want to see the animatronics and puppets people make, because that's really incredible and still going strong. And I also want to see discussion videos about the history of CEC, or just facts that appeal to a general audience. I think videos like that are becoming more common in every community and can really get people far, so I cannot encourage those enough. With that being said, thank you once again from the bottom of my heart. I assure you this is not the end of my channel, but the beginning of a new chapter in it. Things come and go, we all know that, but like I said, this may have been the smallest window of my life, but it left the biggest impact, and that I'm forever grateful for. This is CEC Stages. See you around. Thank you.